guys, welcome back to Shreyalogue. Thank you so much for coming back again. Now this is the third video of the conversation series with Akshata. And first of all, first and foremost, the people who actually dropped in their questions which facilitated such beautiful conversation with Akshata, which in turn it's helping so many people out there. Thank you so much. This video is like the most important video in terms of if you're thinking about going for therapy or want to understand if therapy is for you, if you can reap benefits out of therapy. This video is going to be extremely important for you.
So you must be hearing a lot of personal stories. These stories are definitely going to be the most difficult ones, I would assume. How do you deal with it?
The only one simple answer is that I don't have to deal with it. I have to help them deal with it. That's the straightforward, simple answer. Now, as a human, and especially me being an empath, I'm a sensitive person. I feel everybody's pain. So it does feel sad for them to go through what they're going through and to see them. And some of them may be very, very solid personalities in their work lives, in their families, but deep down they may be struggling with something. And it's very sad to see them like that and very vulnerable. But what I get out of it, what I see in it is that I am there to help them and to see them through and to see them better right after the other side, on the other side. And that makes me absolutely thrilled to be working with them. It makes me sad. To be very candid, there have been times that, or so many times, multiple times, a client has shared whatever they're going through. And I cannot say that I have not had tears. I have had tears, and I can be very honest about it, only because I'm human first and a therapist next. The other thing that I do is I meditate. That is my emotional detox. If anything hits me that hard, then it is just meditation. But I don't remember being hit that hard in that sense that I can't work with that person, or I can't deal with it, or I can't go to sleep because of what they have gone through. I can't go to sleep when I'm very happy that somebody's success, that I've worked with someone and they're absolutely fantastic. They're learning to live their lives again and be their best versions, and that makes me very, very happy. Success can keep me sleepless, but not this. So because I meditate every day, I think that's another added advantage.
Since you told you meditate every day, how difficult is meditation as a practice to be incorporated in our lifestyle?
Yes. So I'll begin with this. I heard this somewhere. I don't know, maybe I read this somewhere, and it's stuck with me. Somebody said, you must meditate every day for 20 minutes, at least 20 minutes. And then he says, and if you're really busy, you must definitely meditate for 20 minutes. So if you have the time, you should meditate. If you don't have the time, you definitely must make time and meditate. So, right. It's like you take your medicines when you're sick, right? It's like that. So if you don't have the time, you definitely must make time for it. So meditation, I personally think today has been made into something very difficult, something very not easy to do, and not everybody can do. And everybody has all these thoughts rushing into their heads when they sit down to meditate. And one common thing that I hear people saying is, I am not able to focus. There's just no focus and concentration. Well, meditation isn't really about focusing and concentration. It is about just being. We are conditioned so much to keep doing something or the other that when we sit down quietly, sometimes we feel like we've wasted our time. So there is that concept in the head that sitting quietly, you can't just sit quiet. I have to keep doing something. So we have to learn to just sit quiet.
I
That
think
is
I think
all
I'm a
that it
victim
takes
of
to.
that.
A lot of them are, lot of people are. I began that way too. And meditation is about just simply coming to yourself, sitting down, and if you have thoughts, just watch them. Because there will be, why people actually feel there are too many thoughts rushing into their heads. That is because when you're doing anything else, when you're too busy during the day, throughout the day, you still have those thoughts. Now you're feeling it all the more because you're sitting quiet and doing nothing else. That's why they all come like that, so much. So it's only about sitting down, being aware of your breathing. Anytime you have thoughts, simply bring your mind back again to your breath. Something as simple as that. It all depends on how patient you are with yourself. So what I tell people when you begin meditating, now that I've said this much, I'll also add this. When you begin meditating, stick to just 1 minute, 2 minutes, 5 minutes. Do not expect yourself to sit for 30 minutes, 15, 20, 30, 1 hour. Do not expect yourself to sit for that long. And if it is just a minute or two that you manage to sit, space it out through the day and do it for 2 or 3 or 4 times a day, morning, afternoon, evening, night. So that feeling that whatever you get out of meditation carries on for a few hours, and then again you meditate, so then it carries on for a few hours, and then if you're doing the hourly breathing, that's a bonus.
So coming to therapy, when do you think, like,
Yeah.
if I can just ask you to list down the top 5 instances when someone should definitely go for therapy? It might so happen that we can't box the human experiences in just 5, but overall, like, just to give an idea to our audiences that if these are the 5 things that are happening, then you should definitely go for counseling or therapy.
Right. I think first and foremost is, like you said, it's hard to actually list out certain exactly 5 things to why you would go, because it is not as clear cut as having a fever or a cold or a cough or a congestion or a ligament, or it's not as simple as that. So I would say anybody that finds it very hard on a day-to-day basis to deal with people, to deal with their own emotions, to deal with anything that has happened in the past, to come to terms with their anxieties and or if they're feeling sad. And when that sadness and that anxiety is becoming toxic, where it happens every day, one-off sadness is fine. You can blame your hormones, you can blame any other situation around you, and tomorrow is a new day and you're fine tomorrow, and that's good. But if you're waking up every day to that kind of feeling, up to having serious thoughts about ending it all, suicidal, um, can't get into relationships because of certain things, can't get to work because of certain issues. If your day-to-day life is coming to a halt, definitely go see someone.
Now that I have created a list that, this is one particular reason why I should definitely go to a therapist, what are those qualities that we should definitely look for when we are going for therapy?
Right. Okay. I think one should begin with finding a bunch of people, therapists, okay, and also look at what each of them is specialized in, what form of therapy, what modality each one is specialized in. Now, when you have seen the different modalities that they use, if everything seems Greek and Latin, Google, research. Now, at this point, I think Google is not a bad place. So do not put in your own self-diagnosis on Google. Do not put your symptoms on Google, but put in search for the different modalities, cognitive behavior therapy or dissociative therapy, hypnotherapy, whatever therapy. So put it up on Google. Look at first 1 or 2, 3 websites and see what they say. If it looks like it is something that you want to give a shot, if it looks like it is something that might help you and you might want to try, go for it. Now, when you go for it, these therapists, that there may be 3 or 4 therapists that you've narrowed down who do that kind of therapy. Now, out of those 4, I would If I were to get in touch with people, therapists, I would get in touch with all of them. Have a little chat first.
Hmm.
Talk to them. See how you're able to build a bond. See how you're able to connect with the person. Is the therapist able to connect with you? Is there that immediate, there's that click that happens? How do you make friendships?
Correct.
Exactly like that. So generally, some of the friendships that stay and stick for long are those that happen like that. They instantaneously happen. So in that case, I think any relationship could happen like that, and so is a client therapist relationship too. So look at what they do, look at what modality you want to give a try, and then out of the 4 or 5 different therapists you made a list. Talk to some of them and see who you connect with. And then I would always say go with your gut feeling, but also see what your connect is like with them. After doing that, when you go see a therapist, you're starting therapy with them, you're starting to work is happening, whatever is happening, give it a few sessions, see how it goes. I would even go as far as saying after the end of every session, if you are feeling good, go back. If you're not feeling good after the end of every session for, let's say, about 5, 6, 7 sessions, if you're still not feeling good at the end of the therapy session, you may want to change modality. I wouldn't say the therapist is not good. Maybe the modality is not of that kind that can help you.
Okay.
There are certain methods like cognitive behavior therapy, for example, in my opinion, does not is not the best for trauma, for example, abuse-based trauma and or any kind of trauma, because in that you tend to have to speak over and over about it, and then you don't want to talk about it so many times.
Correct.
It opens the wound and makes it raw. So you don't want that to happen. So then what do you want to opt for? Every night when you go to bed, keep a little journal beside your bed and write down 3 gratitudes every night.
Okay.
And every night, 3 new gratitudes. I'll also tell you what this does. So when you write them, you would write, I am grateful for, I am very grateful for, I'm extremely grateful for anything small, mundane to anything big. Now, what that does is slowly it shifts your mind from a sense of lacking to a sense of having. You know, actually, there is a lot that we have in life. So it only makes you aware of how much more there is,
Correct.
how much you have, and shifting your mind, wiring your mind towards having, towards abundance, towards prosperity only gives you more reasons to be happier and more reasons to be grateful.
Thank you so much, friends, for believing in me. And secondly, people who have actually started reflecting on their life, identifying their triggers, and trying to find more meaning or trying to make your life more meaningful by tending to these small hiccups in life. You guys are brave, you guys are courageous, and uh, I think this is like the platform for me to acknowledge the kind of efforts that you guys are putting in to, to make your life more beautiful and more refined. So thank you so much, guys. If you like the video, if you like the series, please do not forget to subscribe to Shreyalogue. And if you have already subscribed, do share in the comment box below what were your key takeaways from the video series that I have done. Your love, your encouragement really keeps me going.